Hello, everyone. How do y'all do today? I hope everyone is doing well this Thursday. And today we are doing some outfit designing. So, going to get up my clothes references. And yeah. Fuck. That was not what I meant to do. I pressed the hotkey for my overlay after, and I did click off of the browser, which is playing the music. So, well. I have my phone out with the reference, so I can just look at the reference from my phone and then look back on my screen. So this is her minister outfit. This is her standard outfit. And this is gonna come up later. I need to figure out some good shoes for her. I'm going to do the I'm trying to figure out designs for her hair and stuff before I really go on to anything else. And also, I am probably going to eventually figure out how to do, learn Blender and figure out how to do her horns. Because that's going to be a bit of a learning curve for me, if I'm being perfectly honest. So actually, hold on. that's good. And there's a reason why I'm making the sketch for this green. So let's change to her standard dress. So hold on. I'm also going to get out her profile. Like the character profile I have for her. Like before I really settled on her horns or decided to even give her horns in the first place. So yeah. Also, if y'all will let me info dump for a little bit, because this is something I kind of learned in my comparative mythology class last semester. So basically in like depictions of Aphrodite, basically the way her hair is kind of helps determine her emotions. Like if she is in if she is in control or if she's not. And basically this kind of helps with like hello Tepper's art. It is indeed interesting. So basically for like Aphrodite, if you see like paintings of Aphrodite, her hair is either up in an updo, like secured, or it is down. When it is up, she is in control of the situation. Like she has the advantage. But if there's like a strand or something down with most of her hair up, she is sort of losing control, like, but if it's completely down, she is like all emotions. However, there is an exception, and that is if she is wearing a veil in the painting, she is in control and also letting her emotions be known. Yeah. I'm glad you have a new appreciation for artists now. But yeah. Just a little info dump. Because I really feel like... I'm not sure why this is one of the things I retained from that class. Other than, like, one specific painting that I affectionately refer to as the twink versus the bear. And I even said this in the Zoom chat of the class because this was a Zoom class, and my teacher was just like, that's fucked up. But he didn't say fucked up, he just said, that's so wrong. I really like that teacher, he's pretty cool. Also, I am eventually going to have to figure out, like, what her mission outfit is going to look like. Because I'm probably going to look at, you know, the techwear aesthetic to kind of look for, you know, what the outfits are gonna look like. Oh. Okay. Sorry, they just... Automod does not like the word twink. So, it's in a museum that is kind of like relatively local to me. Oh, I found it. It's on Wikipedia Commons. So this is the painting. So this is by Sebastiano Ricci. This is, I believe, a Baroque painting. No bottoms allowed on stream, joking. I know. But yeah, also, welcome! Yeah. Also, I should probably, like... Yeah, I probably should, like, not really show that. But I am going to send the link to it on Wikimedia. It's okay. Hey, it's just that back when the, you know, sometime like last year, like pretty late into the year, artistic nudity was allowed, but it was quickly fucked up. Like, several whole different, you know, people will just use that as kind of a liberty. Yeah. Yeah. The contest of Apollo and Pan. It's okay. Luckily, it is, you know, tasteful nudity. So I might have to, like, go into the VOD and, like, censor it when I upload it to YouTube. But yes, hello, Cryington. How are you? And now, let's do the braided hair. Glad you're feeling happy. Also, if you notice me not really like turning my head, that's because I have an overlay like on my screen for like chat. So So this is what Patchouli's hair looks like, you know, braided. And this was an intro that I made for like Tumblr and Unveil. So it kind of ends like around here. And of course, in the character profile, like the original document where I kind of made her hair kind of like goes up to, you know, just slightly below where this thingy is. I'm glad you like her color palette. I like it too. And this is kind of her main color palette, like a lot of different purples and a pink. And this is, of course, before I really made her horns. And I also have a color palette for her. Also, palette, it has an extra E at the end. Or you could just call it a color set. It kind of depends on whichever feels more comfortable to you. But also, I might have to like edit this to add her horns. She's very cute indeed. She's also one of the scariest characters. And this does of course include the fact that her backstory is kind of dark. Like it involves a decent amount of like trauma. Yeah. Turn down the opacity. So braids, like at the ends are like the smallest. Actually, I'm going to turn this layer off so I can, you know, more easily see. So like at the beginning of the braid, that's usually when the braid is, you know, at its biggest. So yeah. And there's always like kind of a squiggle that kind of goes on where the braid goes. And then here is where the bow is. And there is kind of a lore significance to this bow. Because it might be a little hard to explain. But since this is kind of like around the beginning of the story, I feel like I can probably explain it. So, basically, Patchouli Gimla, which is this character's full name, she kind of lived an abusive life where she was kind of like neglected, you know, by her own mother. Like, the only person that did really neglect her and like actively acknowledge her existence was her sister. And eventually at like 10 years old, after a certain incident, she runs away. And this is with the help of her big sister. So they end up going to a church. And after like a little bit of talking with the clergy, they agree to kind of like take Patchouli in as the church's ward. And of course, Patchouli is kind of actually undocumented. Like, there's no real documents on her in the place where she goes. And they end up just taking her in. And she, of course, eventually grows up and 10 years later becomes the minister of church. Her official title is the Minister of Advice. And she canonically gives like really good advice to people. Like, if you are kind of struggling with a decision or something, or kind of just need like some advice to help like validate a decision of yours, see if it's like the best thing to do, you go to Patchouli. And yeah. And I actually have some like, so there's going to be 2 versions of the story. Well, technically 3 versions. Like, there's the game, the novel, and then another version of the novel. Which is, you know, I'm not really going to describe it. But let's just say it has extra scenes. And I plan on having it be a light novel, so I'm going to draw some images just for it to kind of, you know, show the characters and stuff. Because I like light novels. But I feel like that for some of them, there's not like enough, you know, drawings. And I'm going to try, and so to describe the novel part, so in the game there are 7 chapters. However, that's mostly just like for smoothly separating the mysteries. Like, each chapter in the game corresponds with a different mystery. However, this does exclude the prologue, which is kind of just like there to explain like how Patchouli joined the agency. And then the first chapter, of course, is the first mystery. Then the final chapter. That's kind of like when everything goes to chaos and a prophecy is fulfilled. But of course, Patchouli doesn't realize she is part of the prophecy. And to be fair, there are some stuff that is revealed around the climax in the story. And there's, of course, some tension. So, in the novel version of the story, like the light novel version and not the game, the chapters in the game are referred to as the acts because they kind of like, if I just make them 7 chapters, those chapters are going to get very, very long, very, very quickly. Like, potentially, like, 100 pages long chapters. And obviously, I don't really want, like, the story, these chapters to be, like, 100 pages long. So, the chapters in the game are referred to as acts in the novel. And in the acts of the novel, there are separate chapters. Like, for example, the prologue of the story in the game is referred to as Act 1. And this is to kind of show how Patchouli kind of is, like, show how she lives her life at the church. Like, I currently have 3 chapters for the prologue. Act 1. So, the first one is, of course, prologue. And that is kind of when Patchouli arrives at the church. And is taken in by the church. Then the next chapter is referred to as the Cryptid of the Skulled Church. The Skulled Church is the name of the church that takes her in. And this is kind of how this describes Patchouli's, like, her status quo before the story really begins, when she joins the agency. What her status quo is as, you know, a minister of a church. Then there is to prevent a ruined wedding, which is kind of what sets off the events of the story. Basically, she uses her abilities. Some of them are like magic specific to the church, but some of them are her own abilities. I kind of hint to her being something far more powerful than most people assume or believe. And then the fourth one is a detective, a lab tech, and a minister, where the 2 other characters who are part of the main cast are introduced because they go to the Skulled Church to kind of investigate what Fennel's baby sister her kind of saw while roaming the halls of the church on that wedding day. And I'm probably going to make it like somewhat relevant to that, so it's just not a random investigation. Like, have the people getting married be family friends of Fennel's family, or change the child that witnesses Patchouli using her powers is the friend of Fennel's baby sister, because he's the eldest of 5 siblings. Like, he only has one brother and 3 sisters. So he's like the eldest and knows how to be a brother. He has the experience. And of course I need to figure out the chapters for like Act 2, 3, and all that stuff, because the chapters are going to be kind of condensed from the novel into the chapters that are in the game. Because, you know, a lot of the gameplay loop is like investigating. And fuck. Ignore that. So this is of course a sprite idea that I have. And this is kind of like a potential idea for like a floor plan for like one of the maps in the game. Well, technically not really like a full-on map, but like kind of like figuring out a floor plan for one of the areas in the game that you kind of see like in the very first part of the game. So this is kind of meant to be like a sort of like combination laboratory and office. So yeah. But anyway, I'm going to, you know, try and, you know, focus on my drawing. So I'm kind of doing like movements with my whole arm and not just my hand, because that helps with like making the lines a little more balanced. And yes, I do have a stabilizer. Like, I'm using stabilizers to help make the lines, you know, look good. Yeah, that looks a little too big. Okay. Transform, flip horizontal. You know what? I'm gonna delete that. And now I'm going to do this on another layer. Okay. I probably should have done that before I, got started on drawing the braids. Now let's do this, because this kind of happens without the horns. And it does look a little longer, but to be fair, this is meant to be kind of behind, and you know, hair does look. Fuck. I pressed the wrong key. Now I need to figure out what to do for her mission outfit. Which means time to look at references. Like, I'm probably going to try and make it something that looks, you know, practical and comfortable. Like, I don't want to have it show like a bunch of skin, mostly because I feel like that's kind of impractical. It just doesn't really make sense. Of course, going to give her a jacket, and luckily I do have a kind of peek-through that I can have, like, to show what I'm talking about, but I'm not going to show it because So, the main thing I wanted to make for the mission outfit is practicality and movement. So I'm not going to give her high heels. That would not make sense at all. Like, not any sort of sense whatsoever. However, the only parts of the skin that will probably be shown are like parts that aren't like, excluding the head, stuff that wouldn't be like super duper dangerous if stabbed. But, like, if it makes sense for it to be protected by armor, it's going to have armor. I probably need to look up, like, tech wear and stuff. I'm not going to give her a crop top. But there is something that I like to mention about her design. Like, you can see in her Tumblr intro, there are these kind of slits where her, like over here, and these do actually have some design significance and lore significance, because something about her that you should know is that she can actually have like some kind of blade go out of her arm, and she uses those to kind of slice and dice. Hello, Corvux. How are you? So I'm probably going to like make the sleeves go like here so it doesn't like get caught in the blades. So the bigger sleeve probably ends like around here, so it doesn't like super impede on the blades that come out of her arms, like her forearms. And I'm going to make the pants, you know, high-waisted because, one, I like high-waisted pants because I have big fucking hips. And two, I just think it probably look a little more practical than something low-waisted. mid-calf, and here is probably going to be like boots. Ack. And this is kind of just like to figure out a theme. And I think I'm going to add like pockets. Like big pockets, because you can never have enough pockets. I'm going to make this a little simple, not like add too much like design motifs. We'll see, because it's just kind of this is mostly like for, you know, missions. So not a lot of like individuality can be really shown compared to like her other outfits, where I can like add some of her motifs more prominently. And especially since she's going to be like, you know, moving around a lot, it wouldn't really make sense for me to kind of have her in a dress or a top and a skirt, like a very long skirt that's like very flowy. It just wouldn't really be, it wouldn't make sense in the situation she is in. Also, So thank you for the first time chat, Corvux. I didn't realize that was a first time chat until just now. Okay, I'm gonna take a sip of my water. And there is kind of a main difference with, like, you know, her you know, uniform that she wears during missions compared to, like, what others wear, because due to her horns, she can't really wear, like, the hood part of a uniform that some others might wear without, like, having to make some modifications. So she just doesn't really use the hood part. There will of course be some exceptions. Like if her boss decides to kind of modify her uniform so that the hood can fit over her horns. But overall, I want this outfit to be more like simplistic. As like, if I add a bunch of like details and stuff, it wouldn't really make like too much sense to kind of have those details for an outfit meant to be for like practicality. So yeah. Of course, I'm not going to add like super high heels to this. Because one, I'm not a big fan of like super high heels, and two, they're kind of unpractical when you need to like fucking run. So yeah. And of course, the pants are kind of tucked into the, you know, boots. And the gloves are also kind of a practical thing too. Because obviously, you know, it makes sense to have gloves on when you're doing like some dirty work. Or if you're like handling forensics, you don't want to contaminate the evidence with your own DNA. And I feel like this can probably be like some kind of lore thing too, like because most of her, the eyes on her body are covered, you won't know if she is, you know, using her ability until you like notice the eye somewhere. I feel like this is good. So I'm going to save this. And I will of course add the laces later. So this is kind of like what one of the sprites will probably look like. This is of course Patchouli in her minister outfit. I'm going to make this a little smaller. Oh. There we go. So, you know, like kind of big examination thingy over here. I'm not sure what to do now. I'm kind of just trying to figure things out for like. So this is kind of like what the beginnings of the chapters CGs are going to look like. And they're kind of meant to be like sort of silhouettes or just like line art with like the flower or plant that the characters are named after in the background. For example, Hydrangea macrophylla is the character Hydrangea. And Pogostemon nucablin is Patchouli. I think I just heard my neighbor's dog barking. actually, I think I'm going to take a small break. You know, probably like use the bathroom and such. And, you know, because I haven't gotten up in like an hour and 20 minutes. You know, I've pretty much been here on at my desk. And it's a really bad idea to be sitting for like hours at a time. Like, it's not good for you. So I will put up the intermission and I'll be right back. I return. Also, enjoy your lurk, Crow. I need to figure out how to do Dahlia's horns. I mean, I might try and do them kind of the same. However, it is just as enticing to kind of invert them. Concepts. And these are, of course, going to be the same color as her eyes. These look a little dull. Well, compared to her. No. Face. Yeah, that looks way better. There we go. This is kind of meant to make it look a little more cohesive. pretty good. I think I can do that. I think I'm going to do that. Hold on. Okay, so this has better contrast than the color that I was probably going to replace it with if I didn't check. Let's delete that. Hold on. Ah, fuck. Did not mean to open that. Hold on. Okay, this also has some good contrast. I just needed to check, just in case. And I think I'm going to end this here. I'm going to prepare for next stream with, some live TV. And yeah. So tomorrow will be some Live 2D work. I'm going to try and get started on that like later. But yeah. I'm going to end stream now. Well, technically go to the ending screen. But yeah. I'll be seeing y'all tomorrow at 1 p.m. EST. Sorry, just my brain is just fried and I'm not sure what to do now. So, yeah. Bye, everybody!